Hello, everybody. Welcome back to round 3. I've got a new guest with me, the
Hello.
Tally himself. How you doing, Tally?
I am doing absolutely fantastic, my man. I looked out my finest shirt for this evening, or this morning for you, and we are going to watch some Yu-Gi-Oh!
We are. We've got Alex with 5 zeros versus Paulo, PRRJ Goncalves. I know I'm not saying that. Goncalves. I'm sorry. I know I'm not saying that right, but we are going to have a match here. We saw a leading on bird call. We saw a bird call lead here. That got ashed.
And
Now we saw
oh,
Karis. We saw Fractal into Kit into Nerval. I think Karis pitched Nerval. That got Veilered.
this is beautiful. This is what happens when you open up with just enough hand traps.
Yeah, unfortunately, if he went for like 2, he would have maybe survived this turn. But Ash Veiler, pretty big hits right there.
Absolutely. And I think you're right. I think 2 might have been the play there because he does still have a normal summon, and we did see him grab a Fractal. But I think if he survives this turn, that's a very heavy crackback he's going to have, I think.
Yeah. Although we will have to see if he survives. We see a Fractal.
Oh.
Paulo has his own Fractal. We might be seeing a little bit of a so-called mirror match here.
This is going to be disgusting. When your opponent opens Fractal, it's one of those must negate cards. But I feel like that's the thing about Tri-Brigade. It's got like 3 or 4 must negate cards.
Yeah, so I mean here. Okay, so here is gonna be the Nerval. It's gonna search Karis. Okay, so we will see what happens here. I'm gonna guess he has a second Tri-Brigade in hand. He can just normal summon, or he might want to normal summon. Yeah, so he's got. Here comes the Nerval. Okay, makes sense here. This is sensible. Now how many will he banish is the question here. I could see
Aren't like
2.
a 3 in.
2 with a tour. Okay, a tour. Does he have like a? So he's gonna summon Fair Jeb probably here, or it could be double Dragon Lords. Oh, his Bear Brim.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting
I
that.
wonder
I'll
where
be
the
honest.
play's gonna go from here.
Yeah. So Bear Brim we see a lot of times. Maybe not even having Revolt in the bird up deck, but you just be used as an effect. Oh, we're using the on-field effect. Discarding 2.
Okay, it's actually been a while since I've seen anyone use that effect.
Yeah, so you can discard 2 to summon a banished level 4 or lower Tri-Beast. Basically, this lets you like get a double dip on the Tri-Brigades.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So let's.
And I think from here, there's some plays this could go into. If there's a further extended in hand, something like Verigite just to grab the Revolt, or even like this is just access code, but it looks as if we're going straight to battle phase, going to clear up and just deal a little bit of damage, which I think is maybe the smarter play.
Yeah, because we're probably going to just see that this Nerval and this Bear Brim are going to be linked into the Simorg end phase. So he's going to have. Oh no, he's going.
Okay,
going for
maybe an
Appaloosa
Appaloosa then.
Appaloosa. Okay, so he's not going to go for the bird. He's going to go for Bear Brim straight away. This might not even be bird up. We can't be certain. So he just goes and he's going to set Revolt with. So this is going to be pretty tough to beat. He's got double Dragon Lords, 3 material Appaloosa.
Yeah. So he's got the negate for the Fractal, which we know he has. He also has 2 pieces of spot removal. I think it's going to require like a very specific hand of Lava Golem, Cosmic, and then Fractal. I think that wins the game.
Yeah, this is going to be quite tough to beat here. I'm sort of curious if Paulo is playing the birds or not. I guess we will have to see what happens there. Okay, so he's going to just admit defeat there. Yeah, that was going to be a tough one to get out of. Ash Veiler first turn really hurt, especially when he went to go and banish 4.
Yeah, that was an intense uphill battle there.
Yeah. So okay, game 2. We were probably going to see Alex go first. But what does that mean from Paulo's side? Well, that means a lot more hand traps, probably some drolls.
Yeah. Definitely. If it was me, Bird Up's one of the few decks I know, so I would say probably a nib for that double recital, droll definitely, and just really go as ham as can be. Starting off with Fractal can be pretty powerful. As we said though, this is one of those must negate cards. If that gets through, you've got a lot of access to your Tri-Brigade engine, which is like huge. And even after that, if that does get negated, like that just leaves Bird Call way open.
Yeah, we have Vinditrix in the chat. He's putting money on Paulo having, well, not money, but his bet is that Paulo is playing Melffy. That's quite a bet there. Okay. Not sure about that, but we will see. We'll see. Unless he actually knows, in which case it's not really a bet at all. Okay, so what did he go here? He went Fractal Nerval. Did you see what he searched off Nerval? I wasn't paying attention.
Did not. So I'm assuming it may be, I don't know, probably Keras, but it might be the kit. That's pretty Turquoise Warbler's effect. You know, not a lot of people think the Ghost Bell would be quite obvious here, but actually it's quite a decent play. Since it can revive from the graveyard, that means it can like be shut off by Ghost Bell, and it's one of the biggest starters the deck has for its main combo.
Right, yeah, that's a good, yeah, a lot of players will notice it, even if there's nothing in the graveyard, as long as it is possible, that's the rule. As long as it is possible, then you're allowed to Ghost Bell it, basically. So it actually is, like, you know, you could somehow pay a cost for the card. So he's just gonna normal, okay. So Nerval got Keras. It looks like Paul had the same question. Here comes the birds. Now the question is, detach. Probably gonna go for the Barrel Canary if he has it. Doesn't have it, excuse me. Is okay here. Okay, so
I think the search here is going to be big. If he's got anything in hand, like if he's hard drawn the Nerval, like it's going to go straight into a Cobalt Swallow, I think. If not, the Barrel Canary might be a good shout because it grabs the Celeste Wagtail for that follow-up, and it still allows you to combo pretty hard into XYZs. Yeah, but it has the Keras as well.
Yeah, so the really big question is, does Paulo have Nib here? Because if he doesn't, this is going to be a pretty decent board, right? This is going to be at least the Simorgh with the Utopic Draco future. So that's really the big question. Does he have Nib? Because if he does, Paulo's in really, really good shape. If he doesn't, okay, so this is really interesting. Alex is going to try to play around Nib. He's going to try to play around it by saying, okay, I'm going to go to the end phase. He does have the Nib. Wow. Okay, so that is sort of helpful here. It still sucks, don't get me wrong, but this play from Alex is actually really solid. At least it plays around Nib. So I like this move here. He's gonna
and that set could be crazy. And he's got the Crow.
Oh,
come on.
Oh my god, that is...
I would not feel good if I was Alex. Like,
that is tough.
Oh, that's nasty. That's tough. That's just rude, if you ask me.
Tough. Man, that's a beating. Now, does he have a Fractal here to start it all off? We will have to see.
Sure he does.
We'll have to see.
And the most disgusting thing is, right, is DD Crow is also a winged beast, so it is just more Tri-Brigade material.
I actually think Alex played that pretty well. Just a tough breaker, and he does have a Fractal. Oh my gosh. I don't know what that set is. It could be like the Harpy trap, and that's really unfortunate because he couldn't even get a winged beast on the field because of the DD Crow. That was just a really, really good hand by Paulo, and he's got he's gonna make some plays here, that's for sure. Here comes the kit. Sort of, maybe it's an imperm. We'll have to see here.
I think the imperm would be big. If he's got Keras in hand, then it kind of doesn't matter. But I think, you know, just having that imperm would be just enough to get him through to the next turn. In which case, you know, there's plays there. There's absolutely plays there.
There is. Unfortunately, yeah, it's probably only going to be a Zeus because his Wagtail is banished, which means that Barrel Canary is not going to do as much because it's not going to be able to get a search off the thing that it's summoning. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, we will have to see.
I'm gonna be a wee bit nosy and see if I can find the deck list.
Yeah, find the deck. Yeah, go ahead, find the deck list. So, okay, I will, in the meantime, look. This kit is banishing 4. He's going straight for the throat here. I am not worried about infinite impermanence. He might be running like a Dragoon package in this deck, depending on what it is. And it looks like that's game. Paulo actually just wins the match. Alex missed defeat. That was quite a hand. Let us go take a look maybe at table 1. Maybe it's Destiny and GG Gibriel XD. Let's see if they're still playing. That'll be a really good match, I think, and they are. So let's take a look.
Because we were actually talking before we looked at that match, and we were really looking forward to the maybe it's Destiny and Gibriel match.
Yeah, these guys are definitely well-known dueling book players, and they play in real life as well. I've certainly have lost to probably both these players many a time on dueling book. So this is going to be an interesting match. It looks like Gibriel won the first game here. And we are going to see Dragon Link versus, I'm not exactly sure what Jib is playing.
I think if I was to take a guess based on the token collector, maybe Tenyi.
Maybe Tenyi, that's a good point. Yeah,
Tenyi Sword Soul
specifically. If you see a token collector in the main, it could be Tenyi Sword Soul, especially game 2. I'm going to blank out these images, and we will see here. Okay, so Dragon Link doing his Dragon Link things. He's got Chaos Space, and he summoned out the Chaotic Ruler. Now, I don't know if we're under Tracer or not. That's sort of an interesting question. We're under Tracer. Obviously, can only summon Darks, the extra deck for the rest of the turn. If he's not under Tracer, well, who knows?
He's the world's his oyster. And I think looking at this, if he's not under Tracer, there's a heck of a lot that he can do, because he's got the lights and the darks to be able to revive the Dragon Ruler. If he hasn't already used Boot Sector, which I think he might have, there's a good chance that we can get into like a quad bottle to bring back our rockets and end on a couple of negates here.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be interesting here. Okay, so he's thinking hard here. There's like two options if he's going to link summon. It's either going to be the Romulus to get the Dragon Ravine to extend, or he could play it a little bit safer and go for the seals. I think that's what he's thinking about right now. Or is he still resolving this? Oh no, I think he already solved the Chaotic Ruler as he activated Chaos Space.
In your opinion, Yishan, what would you do here? You're a much better player than I am. So I'm going to ask you, like, what would you do here if you were maybe it's Destiny?
Well, okay, I will be honest. I'm not a very good Dragon Link player, and it really, really depends on your hand, right? So okay, let's try to analyze this. Against Nibiru, you definitely want to have the seal, because that will give you at least probably a Dragon Maid, which lets you set the Dragon Maid tidying if you need. However, with things like Dragon Ravine, depending on what... Okay, so I guess that answers our question.
So we're going for the seal.
We're going to go for the seal. The black is going to search the white. And he could summon back the Chaotic Ruler, but a lot of times I've seen Dragon Link just summon seal, set a couple cards, pass the turn with some hand traps, and that's actually really strong. The follow-up is just insane with the Boot Sector and the seal and the tidying and all that stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the bigger things about Dragon Link is like it's been hit enough that its first turn play probably isn't amazing. But see Dragon Link on the crackback, like Dragon Link has in my opinion, a really powerful kind of like bounce back on turn 3, turn 4.
It's actually, it's amazing the bounce back this deck has. It's actually like almost stronger. Ooh, very interesting. So we're going to see Noctovision. Yeah, we don't usually see this on the summon of the Chaotic. Usually it's like on like the Striker Dragon. We're going to see another link too. So this may be time for the...
Verti maybe? I know some Dragon Link players are on. Okay, it's IP. So that's 2 bounces on the opponent's turn plus a draw. This could turn out pretty well,
Yeah, this could turn out well. Especially if he's got some hand traps. The follow-up's going to be insane. So he's going to end phase. There could be a nib here. We will see. Looks like no nib.
Good to go. That kind of moment on DB is terrifying before your opponent like really accepts the end phase, and he's got the Lancia.
Okay. So this is what I'm talking about, like the classic Dragon Link setup where you got a couple interruptions and then a hand trap, and the follow up is where it's at. So I do think it is. I think you're right. It is Sword Soul. Now he also has the Token Collector if he's playing against Sword Soul.
Yeah, and that can be summoned from grave, can't it? That's
Ruler. Dark Ruler is here. That's pretty good. It stops a bounce and an IP play, but you still can activate Heretic Seal just to get your thing back.
Yeah, just
Um,
to get something out.
yeah, and notice he had the Dark Ruler before the Token Collector came out. So we'll have to see what happens here. I'm sure Jib is aware of that. Yeah, so he's going to activate Token Collector in response to the token being summoned. Says he's thinking about it. We'll have to see here. But yeah, you obviously try to use the Token Collector here just on the first thing that you can.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll see what Jib has a response for if he has for this Token Collector.
I think really the only playthrough here is just, has he drawn, the Long Yan? I think if he has, I hope the set card is something like, Imperm. But if not, in fact, even it could be Dragon Maid Tidying, because we do have a dragon on field. So there's a lot that could happen.
Oh, okay, so he has an Ogre for the Token Collector. So Token Collector will go to the grave. So it triggers twice. So it triggers once when a token is special summoned, and then it special summons itself. It activates on field to pop all the tokens, and then has a continuous effect that doesn't let you summon more tokens. In response, Jib has chained the Ghost Ogre here to the on-field effect. He knows his token from Moyi is probably going to die still, but he wants to chain this Ghost Ogre anyway so that he can have a chance at summoning tokens per se, like you were saying, the what's it called? Oh, he's going to chain Heavenly Dragon Circle. Really nice play. He's going to tribute probably the token. The token's going to die anyway.
And does he not get something extra if he tributes the token as well?
I think he's just allowed to. He can special summon it, but its effects are negated.
Yeah.
So he's just going to add the Long Yan, like you said here. So this is all going to resolve.
So, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to out myself as someone who can't read. I didn't actually realize that Token Collector had the Floodgate effect as well. I thought it was just destroyed, but that is huge.
Yeah, so he had to get rid of it.
Ogre is huge.
Yeah, exactly. He had to get rid of it as well. Now, though, he has the Long Yan, so he will be able to Synchro Summon. He might use the Moyi. He might use the Long Yan. It's going to be hard to decide here. I'm still thinking this game is Dragon Link favored because he's got that follow-up. That seal is going to summon something.
Yeah, I can't see Sword Soul winning this turn. And if that is the case, then that crackback's going to be, well, cracked.
And it's actually impossible for Sword Soul to win this turn. They're actually Dark Rulered. Gonna go Battle Phase. Oh, I don't know if I would have let that go. Oh, this can be used in Battle Phase. I forgot. Okay. Yeah, so he's just going to use this in Battle Phase. Okay, for some reason I thought this was main phase only. I don't know why I thought that. But here comes the Spheres. Spheres is going to tribute. Even though it can't bounce anything, it still is able to just pay itself for cost. Going to summon the Absa Router as follow-up. Okay, interesting.
And that Absa Router's quite big because, no matter what you do now, if they clear the board, they've got that follow-up.
Yep, they're going to get probably a Tracer or maybe like a Recharger or something like that. Okay, so here comes Absa Router. I'm going to use the effect here. Let us see what he searches.
So looking at the graveyard, there's a couple of Tracers in there already. So I wonder if it might be worth going for like the Synchron or something just to get that revival effect.
Yeah, that's a really good point actually. Yeah, Synchron would be a good follow-up here. Normal summon it. Oh, but it's actually in the graveyard right now. So unless he runs two.
Yeah, because I know a lot of Dragon Link players are divided on one or two. We're going for the Tracer, which I think's a fine choice as well. That does pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah, I think you might be right. It might be a hint that he only runs one because you're right. The Rocket Synchron does look very good there. So he goes, okay, he's gonna go Long Yan, pitch Ashuna, chains summon limit. Oh, this is a dirty card. This is a dirty card.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that is. So there's like this theory I saw DB Grinder point out the other day, which is playing Floodgates in these combo decks is so good because no one puts in backer removal because like you can't. You're spending so much time stopping the combo. Now, of course, the downside is like you have to play through your own summon limit, which isn't optimal in Dragon Link. But in a situation like this, where it's decent,
and that makes a lot of sense as to why, even if he is running the second Synchron, like that makes a lot of sense as to why he searched the Rocket Tracer there, because that gets out of his own Floodgate.
Yeah, there you go. That's really cool.
That's great.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like really that play from Maybe It's Destiny. I like the sort of the deck building theory there. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Very annoying.
And, it's similar to the thought process of people like putting Mystic Mine in combo decks, but like, you're right. Who's running Twin Twister against Dragon Link? They've
Right,
got maybe
exactly.
one or two pieces of spell trap interaction.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So I reckon we've got two really good players here. We're going into game three. Lots of knowledge, lots of information being given. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I think it'll be a big one, or it'll be a blowout. Who knows? But I hope it's a big one.
That's good. Yeah, it could be a big one. Tied up 1-1 going into the third game. We have some third game magic. We are going to see Jib go first, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so he does decide to go first.
And then straight away with the Lancia.
I like it. So, yeah, I'm a fan of doing this in the standby phase, this format, just because this deck for sure runs Desires. So you just don't want that card to resolve if you're gonna use your Lancia. So Vishuda here now, is he gonna normal summon? Okay, no, he's just gonna tribute it off with Heavenly. Okay. Okay, makes sense. Grabbing
going for the Moye, so got something nice in hand, I'm sure.
Makes sense. So Moye, what's he gonna reveal here? What's he got? He's got Taya. Okay.
And he's got the Imperm for it.
Hey.
It might just be us that just cause people to open the perfect two-hand traps.
Yeah, we might be doing it. He's just gonna pass.
And that's
here.
a pass.
Wow.
Okay.
So maybe his Destiny looking solid here. It depends on what Jib's got in his hand. Maybe he's got some hand traps of his own. Ooh, Seifert.
Starting off the Seifert's nice.
Yeah, if this resolves, that's going to get the black and the white dragon engine online, and that's like a huge source of advantage. So is he going to try to activate this here? Let's see what he's got. Is he going to pay itself? He's going to pay itself. Ash would almost like be forced here. Just because you're sort of hoping that they just don't have follow-up. But okay, no. It's going to get the black dragon here. And this is going to lead...
Seifert, honestly, so a lot of people in this case as well have gone for like the black-white dragon. Seifert's really crazy in that, see if you've opened up like Absoluter as well, that not only gets your rocket engine going, but searches you a Noctivision dragon. Seifert, I remember when Seifert used to be one of the scariest cards in the game.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, these black and white dragons, the advantage is insane when you can get to them. Just the extension there. So, okay, he's thinking...
And it's really nice. Because he had the Lancia, it means that he can get rid of that for the black dragon, which leaves Seifert engraved to be able to recycle some of the higher level dragons, which I think is actually a really good play in terms of economy.
Yeah, I like those what's it called? The level 8, the Levianeer is usually what you're recycling a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Okay,
so not only can you get like the pop or the hand drip, you also get to recycle it to then, if he's running Borrow Sword, use it for the Borrow Sword OTK.
Yes, exactly. So he's thinking here. This is interesting. The game's not over yet, especially if he can get another turn here. Okay, so here comes Striker. There's gonna be some chain links going on here. So we're
going black 1, Striker 2, which I don't know, does that ever telegraph anything? Personally, I usually go for like Striker 1 if I have the rocket, so maybe it telegraphs that he's going to go ahead and find it and search it, maybe go into like the Romulus play that you mentioned.
Yeah, I agree. Right, you usually put the chain link you want to for sure resolve first.
So it feels like Destiny may have needed that white dragon to be able to extend to really get into the plays.
Yeah, what's funny is that if he wants to end on Seal but doesn't have a good play, like he maybe should have attacked with Black Dragon first, although he actually thought about it for a while, so I'm assuming he has a line of thought. Although it might have been safer just to go Black Dragon, attack the Moyi in main or before doing any of this. Maybe not. I mean, he could easily have game here as well. It's just that for it's a possibility. I'm just saying, maybe it plays you more into Nib for some reason, or I don't know. But it's probably not a big deal. This play is probably maybe even better. It was just something he maybe consider depending if we watch this game, or we would sort of do some thinking back about what could have happened.
Yeah. And to be honest, I've got a real cheek to talk about one of the like a player way better than myself and being like, I wonder if what their plays are. I would have done it different. Of course, I would have done it different. I'm not very good at the game.
Yes, that's definitely like one thing that's really interesting about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like there's so many decisions, and so you can really see like when someone else chooses a different decision than you that you would have chosen. It's a good way to improve, actually, is to just be like, okay, here's what I would have done. Look at what the player that you're sort of watching would have done and sort of try to figure out maybe why they did that. Okay, so Romulus is going into the Romulus line. This definitely is weaker to Nib, obviously.
Yeah.
But it really depends on what's in his hand.
Because we could have a situation where he's got the Absolutor in hand. That kind of is just like the FTK. You open Dragon Ravine Abso, which gets you access to a lot of engines, as we mentioned. Safer might come into play where it recurs something, or we could have like the Dragon Maid engine, where we ditch a Dragon Maid trap, send the maid herself, and then revive it. But no, we've got Gamma. Okay,
gets rid of the Gamma. Wow, so he had a Gamma in the opener as well. I would,
disgusting.
He might have drawn this for turn. I would have been really inclined to use my Lancia with my Gamma. I could have that first turn, just because you get to keep the Gamma and Driver around if you use Lancia, which is really strong. Like you could just start off your turn basically with a Chaotic Ruler, which is really
absolutely
strong.
Sending the Absolutor. Okay, so going for the more kind of like linear rocket-based play, which honestly I don't think there's anything wrong with. I think the rockets have a ton of like real potential. Again, as we keep saying, depending on what's in the hand. If there's 2 rockets in there, that's game. And there might be the Tracer. He's added the Recharger, which probably tells me there's a Tracer in hand.
He's gonna.
So I think. Oh, sorry. On you go.
Oh, he's going Levy. Looks like.
Big.
Bang.
And that was 3 lights he got rid of there. So that's the Monster Reborn effect.
Yeah, he's gonna Reborn. So
this might be a real crucial point if he's running Appaloosa.
Yeah, I think so, because that's what you're worried about, is basically Nibiru, right? That's really the only thing you're worried about here. That's
I think that's it.
Yeah, he says it's okay. Yeah, so right. If you're gonna go for this Romulus line, you know that Nib is your biggest weakness, right? And so he is going to go for the Appaloosa. He's thinking if he can try to go Appaloosa and get game here. It's gonna be close, I think, because he's maybe got the rocket thing that like the link to that summons back stuff to get like an extra monster. I forget what that's called, but
the Quad Bottle, I think. Yeah,
Quad Boral. So
I think there's tons of ways this could go. He got the Recharger back, or he searched the Recharger. So again, to me, that kind of says like Tracer. But if he has the Tracer and the Recharger, that means it can summon Synchron, go for the Chaotic Dragon, and that really depends on. Oh, that was big though. He does have the negate, so if he has the Nib here, he's got to use it.
Yeah, he's got to use it. Unfortunately, there was not really a good opportunity to use this. This over another time. But here comes the double rockets, and this is where it gets a little bit scary here. So the question is he just going to go for Savage, or can he extend a little bit more? Maybe he pops the Boot Sector. Yeah, okay, so he's going to pop the Boot Sector here.
And that can get us out Synchron, which at the very least means that we're going to be able to end on an Appaloosa with 1 more negate or 2 more negates, and then the Hot Red, which is honestly, I think, one of the more powerful cards this format, just because it has this built-in recursion, and it's just a beefy boy.
Yeah. Hey, Darth Trader says, loving the stream and big love to my boy Tally. Thank you.
Darth Trader, my man, thank you.
Okay, so you're right. He is going for the probably the Hot Red play. Tally, have you played this deck a lot? Because you're quite quite knowledgeable about the Dragon Link deck, it seems. Are you a Dragon Linker?
I know two, maybe three decks, and Dragon Link is one that I've spent a lot of time on. I did 100 duels of it last year. I don't know if you've seen any of those videos.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
But like yeah, so it's a deck I've put a lot of time into. And he grabbed the Lancia. That's such a big thing about Chaos Ruler because people think it's to grab extenders. Lancia is light, and
Yeah.
Lancia is a good card.
Yeah, and especially he's got he's got Heavenly Dragon Circle and Vishuda in the grave, so he doesn't have to worry about either of these popping off next turn, which is huge.
Yeah.
I also believe that Hot Red can summon back a tuner if it kills something by battle.
And I can't remember if it's level 4 or level 3 is its restriction, but at the very least that's a Rocket Synchron, which can go, if he's running Hulk as a Hulk next turn, to link climb, or at the very least, it's just another body on board.
Now the question is, do you fire this Lancia off in the standby phase? Does Jib have that thing? Does he have the Pot of Desires in his hand? I mean, you probably just fire it off because the duel is going to end the next turn anyway.
We're going to end on a couple of forms of like disruption for it. So I think if they've got the Gamma, which I don't think Swords will play, or if they have anything to stop it, you've got the Appaloosa.
That's a good point. Yeah, you probably just fire it off. He's wondering if he used the Striker add back this turn. I don't think he did. I think
Striker.
He just linked it into Romulus without adding back, I believe. So yeah. So can he use Striker Dragon to add back something?
I don't think he did. No, he didn't. And so the line I would go for again is kind of like not as much of an experienced player as Destiny. There's a Chaos space in Graveyard, so if we link off these two, we can then banish. Oh, he's going into the LP. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, and there's two monsters at point. Yes. Okay, let's see where this is going.
Oh,
that's Jib hitting with the GGs. Yeah,
no,
that's definitely game.
Try maybe summon back the Striker Dragon maybe to use the add effect. I'm not exactly sure what the plan was, but it was definitely going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Wow. We might have time. How many? Let's look at a couple minutes left in the round. Let's try looking at maybe one more match here. Who should we take a look at? Let's just take a look. How about at table 3? We got two out of table 3. We got drop the drop the mic basically. So if we search for drop, we'll probably find our man here. Drop the mic. So this is at table 3 here. Whoa!
What have we just joined?
Whoa!
So we've got tour guide, a set. Okay, so so it's PK versus Eldlich.
And it looks like we've got a TC Boo. So okay, that's pretty good. We got the plants with the warrior and the fiend, so that's totally legal. It looks like Drop the Mic is gonna win this one.
That looks like game because Fogblade into Bardiche or the Break Sword because that makes Zeus.
Yeah, that makes Zeus, and I think it can pop as well. Yeah, it can pop as well.
So I don't think the Break Swords can pop anything. It needs a material, but we do have the DPE.
Right, you're right. It does need a material. Okay, never mind. It does need a material.
Yeah, I think this kind of screams a Zeus play, because he can't summon DPE with Tikaboo, and because he's got the Phantom Knights of Break Sword. So I think maybe we go into Zeus, or we're linking it off. Okay.
Wow, so he doesn't even use. Oh, his DP's already gone, so he just wanted to link to. He's gonna go Unicorn. What's this? Is this going to shuffle back the set card? We'll have to see here.
It needs barely any more damage to be able to win this. If that set card's doing nothing, I think that's it.
Yeah, he just needs a tiny bit of damage. You're right, just a teensy weensy bit. Now, actually, let's do some math here. 46,
and the Stained Greaves. I love this card. I think Stained Greaves is so underrated because it's an extender in hand and in grave as well.
Yeah, this is going to be able to add a Phantom Knights monster, and then probably Stained Greaves is going to special summon it out.
If we've not used Torn Scales this turn, that's...
Oh, wow. Yeah, so here comes a lot of stuff. The grind of Phantom Knights is also insane, just like Dragon Link we just saw. I mean, this deck grinds like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going just to battle.
Okay, interesting. Okay, he probably knew it was a Sanguine. That's interesting. So the Elixir is going to come out. It's going to save him here.
But we do have the Reader with a trap as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. Time Thief Redoer does have a trap. It can just shuffle it back, right?
Yeah, it can just put the Eldland back on the top of the deck.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, he's probably gonna put the monster back on top. The thing is, it's still not game, but also forcing your opponent to draw the Eldlich card is pretty nasty. So let's see here. We're just gonna go main phase 2. Maybe he already used the Redoer this turn.
Possibly, yeah. There's potential there because if it was me, might have used it to put the Imperial Order away.
Yeah. Although he might not even have any spells that are worth playing, so he's just happy to let his opponent take 700 a turn. And by the way, this just proves that Imperial Order is a balanced card, right?
Fair and balanced. I see a game here. No one's automatically scooped.
Right, exactly. It costs 700 life points per turn. It must be balanced.
And you have to pay it. They errated it perfectly. You can't choose.
Exactly. So this is a balanced card here. 700 life points, probably about to be paid here. Oh, he's thinking in draw phase. Okay, so thinking in draw phase. What will he?
Okay, yeah. So he's going to grab the top card. Oh no, sorry. He's going to spin the Eldland, and then he's going to be able to take it.
Oh,
that could be big.
Wow,
that could be big.
And does he
gets rid of a huge body? And no, sorry, on you go.
No. I was thinking he summoned the last one from grave. I wonder if that means he doesn't have one in deck. No, that's they always run 2, right? So I think
yeah.
Frito probably runs 2. Okay, so I'm gonna activate the elixir here. Set that. Makes sense. What cards does he have in his hand? That's the $1 million question here. Ooh, he's got a Heavenly Prison. Okay, that's a big guy. That's a big boy down there. And he's got a trap he can activate. So is he living again? The question. We'll have to see. There's only 6 cards left in Drop the Mike's extra deck here.
So let's have a look at what he's gotten rid of. So there's a Levier gone, Mask, DPE, Bardiche. We do have a Fogblade in hand, so that's coming back, I'm sure. Verte and Cherub. So there's still some heavy hitters in there. I think there's a second Breaksword, maybe? Let me just check. Yeah, second Breaksword's big.
I see. Probably a Zeus left over. There goes the Fusion Destiny. Gone. Sending another Boots.
There could also maybe be an Access in there.
Going for Access. That's huge. That might be game. This really depends on what... Because no matter what happens... Oh, what has he got on res?
So we do have the hack. And I'm just checking. In terms of attributes, we're severely limited in the graveyard. It's all darks, so it's 1 pop.
Oh, it's all dark, so it's 1 pop. That's gonna be enough, though. That's gonna be enough.
Yeah, it's gonna be enough.
Just pop the Heavenly, use the Redoer to attack the trap, and then that Access Code should finish him off. Unless the other card in hand is something, but he can't activate this IDP yet. It's just not live because he just said it. Here we go. Gonna pop, pop stat.
Yep. And then, I think you're right. We just go ahead, we attack the hack, and then we're going for game.
I think so. I think that's gonna be it, unless it's like Battle Fader. Rebo?
It would be great if it was.
Oh no! Wow, what a game! This was probably a really good game. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that is gonna be it for us from for round 2. This was a really interesting round. We got to see a Tri-Brigade mirror. We got to see Sword Soul versus Dragon Link, and now this. I'm getting you back for next round as well, right, Tally?
Yes, I'm here for the next 2 rounds. Sorry to the audience, but I did sign up for it. But yeah, next couple of rounds. But that was a biggie. Can we really beat 3 back-to-back bangers?
I don't know. I don't know if we can beat 3 back-to-back bangers. But that was the end of round 3, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is DCS 5, $2,000 on the line. We will see you back here in a bit for
Don't go anywhere.
round